Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order, and we're going to move down to Section 2, approval of agenda. And school board members, we do have one late change to the agenda. Of course, we had two other ones that we discussed at the workshop, so I'm not going to announce those. But if you look here, we got item 8.29, Educational Partnership Agreement, EPA, between the Department of the Air Force, represented by the 96th Test Wing, Eglin Air Force Base, and the School Board of Okaloosa County to promote STEM education, is deleted at the request of Cindy Gates, Director of Community Affairs and Principal Evaluation. So with that, those changes, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Okay. We got a motion by Dr. Kelly, a second by Ms. Ivanchek. Well, let's vote. All in favor? And the motion carries 3-0. So we'll move down to recognitions. And we're going to do item 3.1, recognition of Sharon Bartles Wheelis, recipient of the 2019 School Psychologist of the Year by the Florida Association of School Psychologists, presented by the superintendent. Mr. Chambers?
Good evening, board members. And it's nice to see such a large crowd here, and I suspect everybody is here in celebration of LSU and Clemson tonight. So I'm kind of thinking that. But we are fortunate to recognize Ms. Sharon Bartles Wheelis. We spoke about her a few board meetings ago, but definitely wanted to have her come before the board, recognize her as we should. And I'm just going to share a little bit of information about her and the award. So Sharon Bartles Wheelis was awarded the 2019 School Psychologist of the Year by the Florida Association of School Psychologists. Sharon is our lead school psychologist, supports school teams on MTSS, serves as the Teenage Parenting Program Coordinator, and has been instrumental in helping our district establish the mental health program and writing our district's mental health assistance allocation plan. She provides training and support to our new mental health providers and how mental health services fit into tiered systems of support. Sharon is a leader in our district's crisis response team and provides leadership at all levels, to include organizing a response plan, meeting with school administration teams and teachers, and providing support for students at the school level. Sharon is an advocate for her profession and her school psychologists and colleagues. She is a mentor to new school psychologists. And I want to say that's just a short description, but the work that she does in our school district is absolutely, we can't thank her enough. And the fact that she's awarded School Psychologist of the Year by the state of Florida, that is something that I know that we're all extremely proud of. And without further comment, I'd like Sharon to come forward. And as you can see, you don't have many supporters here tonight. So myself and the school board, we extend our warmest congratulations and highest esteem to Sharon Bartles Wheelis on being named the Florida Association School Psychologist of the Year for the 2019 school year. And this is something that is well deserved. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chambers, for presenting this and asking to come before the board. I deeply appreciate it. I would like to really thank the people who actually also did a lot to nominate me and answered questions and wrote letters of recommendation, which were Sheila Lightbourne and my boss, Terry Schroeder, and several of my psychologist colleagues that are here. And then Zoila, my friend and colleague, submitted everything to the board. And so without them and their willingness to take their time out of their day to put everything together, I wouldn't have been nominated. So I thank them very much. My family is here, minus one of my sons. He's TDY, flew out yesterday, so he's not here. So I'd like to thank them for continuing support, because I think that we all know when we work with students that an intact family unit and the supportive family is what really helps our students also grow. And so I think that carries over, obviously, to us as professionals, whether we're psychologists, teachers, administrators, school board members, and so I thank them for their support. One thing, I'm always advocating for the profession of school psychology, because a lot of times people don't know what exactly we do, and all the students that I know are here to receive awards. I want you all to know you have a school psychologist assigned to your school that is there to help you. So if you don't know who they are, find out when you go to school tomorrow. But I also have a little flyer that I'm going to hand you if you want to read more about what we do. But I'm just going to read a little blurb that talks about school psychologists help students thrive. We are uniquely qualified members of the school team that support students' ability to learn and teachers' ability to teach. We apply expertise in mental health, learning, and behavior to help children and youth succeed academically, socially, behaviorally, and emotionally. School psychologists partner with families, teachers, school administrators, and other professionals to create safe, healthy, and supportive learning environments that strengthen connections between home, school, and the community. So, thank you, and I'm going to hand you. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And we'll take two more for the, Okay.
And I know you've already gotten one, Mr. Chambers, but I'm going to give you another one. I'm always talking to him.
And I know there's a group of you that's here to include the family and to include Ms. Schroeder if she'd come forward, but as well as those who are here supporting Ms. Wheelis. If you come forward, I know there's probably a good group. Come forward, we're gonna take a
Psychologists, I have their
picture.
mental health counselors here, their school counselors here, all of you guys. I have administrators here.
Good to know who
former
they are.
Administrators here, John Williams.
That's good.
Here we go.
Mr. Chambers, before we move on, I do want to just make a couple of quick announcements, and I apologize I didn't make these at the very beginning. We do have public hearing at 6:15. We will go into public hearing after we do 3.2, if that's okay. Mr. McInnes will be a few minutes after 6:15. Also, if you notice, Dr. White is not here tonight, and Mr. Destin's not here tonight. Mr. Destin is out away on personal business, and Dr. White is celebrating the birth of his second grandchild tonight.
Today.
So that is why both of our colleagues are not here tonight, but we do have a quorum, so we will continue to move on. So with that being said, item 3.2, recognition of the 2019-2020 Sunshine State Scholar School recipients and the announcement of the 2019-2020 Okaloosa County Sunshine State Scholar Award recipient, presented by the superintendent.
Thank you, sir. And it's neat, you know, at our school board meetings, we're always recognizing different employees, and we're blessed to recognize students, and this is just another example of that. And we're looking at today the Sunshine State Scholars. Each district in the state of Florida selects their top 11th grade students in the area of science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, which we refer to as STEM, to represent their district as the Sunshine State Scholar. Each scholar will travel to Orlando for a 2-day program designed to allow students from all over the state to collaborate, connect with employers that specialize in STEM fields, and create a networking opportunity between the scholars in schools from Florida's colleges and state university systems. This year's program will bring 103 high school STEM scholars together to conduct a think tank on tough Florida challenges. I would like to recognize the School Sunshine State Scholar School winners. If these schools' winners would come up to the front to be recognized. And from Baker, we have Catherine Strom. From Choctaw, Leah Price. From Crestview, Hayden Seymour. From Niceville, David Dye. And from Fort Walton Beach High School, Mackenzie Merez. And at this time, I would like to ask Tammy Ellis, our science specialist, and Stephanie Thedford, our math specialist, to introduce each school winner.
We are so excited. If y'all come stand right here for us, we're gonna. We are. I hate. I'm gonna address you, but I'm talking to everyone. We're very excited. We're gonna read some bios to just kind of share with you. These students are nominated by their teachers, and then they put together a portfolio, if you will, that and there's a rubric that looks at everything from grades to courses to competitions, and you'll get a little bit to know them in their bios. So we're going to read those to you tonight and give them a certificate. I'll read Baker. Ms. Strom's not here, but I'll go ahead and read hers. Catherine was enrolled in STEM Club and Beta Club. She currently is a member of the Baker Band Color Guard and weightlifting team. During her life, she hopes to become an aerospace engineer and work with NASA and help design satellites and other spacecrafts for the exploration of space. Strom has maintained a 4.0 or higher GPA throughout her school years and has considered attending Georgia's Institute of Technology. So Ms. Strom's not here, but let's.
Choctaw's Sunshine State Scholar winner is Leah Price. Leah participates in the IB program at Choctaw High School. She is the first chair clarinet at Choctaw High School Symphonic Band and a section leader of the Choctaw Stalwart Marchers. Also is a piano player in the jazz band. On the clarinet, she has been selected to be in the Okaloosa All-County Band 5 times, to the Florida All-State Band 4 times, and she's also received numerous awards for superior and solo ensemble over the past 5 years. She is currently president of the Spanish Honors and Music Honors Club. In the past, Leah has been the president of the freshman class, vice president of the Beta Club, and the spirit coordinator of the Spanish Honors Club. Currently, she's a member of the National Honor Society and is involved in the Inter-Club Council. Leah is still exploring her opportunities, but she currently is planning on attending Florida State University for an engineering and music, so she'll be double majoring.
Crestview Sunshine State Scholar winner is Hayden Seymour. Hayden is a member of the National Honor Society. He's also a member of Stride and is the principal trombonist in the Wind Ensemble Band. He spent most of his time either preparing for band-related auditions or spending time with friends. He is ecstatic to be chosen for this honor and hopes to bring a positive view upon his school. He would also like to take time to thank his school principal, Mr. Dexter Day, his guidance counselor, Miss Alicia Humphrey, and all his teachers that nominated him for the Sunshine State Scholar. It's Hayden Seymour.
Fort Walton Beach High School Sunshine State Scholar winner is Mackenzie Merez. Mackenzie has been actively yearly science fair participant since the 6th grade, winning first place every year at the regional science fair since 7th grade. She has represented Okaloosa County at the Florida State Science and Engineer Fair each year and has won various prizes, including multiple top 4 placements. Mackenzie's research focused on 2 areas. First, on the development of an extremely cost-efficient custom orthotic that has the potential to be used as an alternative to surgery in canines with ACL tears. And secondly, the effectiveness of alternate treatments of bacteria commonly found in the ear canals of canines. Mackenzie is the Vice President and President-elect of the Fort Walton Beach High School Science National Honor Society and has represented the school as a class president and is the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership State of Florida Ambassador. She also has multiple sport varsity athletics, where she's lettering in both weightlifting and track and field. At Fort Walton Beach, Mackenzie takes the most rigorous AP and STEM courses offered. She is a third-year biomed science program and has completed courses in engineer program and AP stats. Outside of Fort Walton Beach, Mackenzie furthers her love of science by studying abroad. She is currently enrolled in a college environmental science course at the University of San Diego in conjunction with her trip to Iceland and is scheduled to travel to the Galapagos Islands in June.
Niceville High School Sunshine State Scholar winner is David Dye. David is a programmer on the Niceville First Robotics team. He helped create the winning robot at the Smoky Mountains Regional Competition in 2019, which qualified Niceville for the first world competition in Houston, Texas. David has recently taken a teaching role on the robotics team by mentoring new members in creating a robot to compete in the local First Tech Challenge competition. David is certified in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript languages, which David has used to create artificial intelligence, a mobile app for the 2019 Congressional App Challenge for actual visualization. Yes, this is crazy hard to read, right? And much more. David also holds a leadership position as the head of analysis for the NGISA program at Niceville, which is an international organization dedicated to mapping biodiversity along the shorelines of the world. Niceville represents the Gulf Coast in this project, and over the past 3 years, David has analyzed, preserved, and DNA barcoded hundreds of organisms collected from the Florida shores. David loves to sail in his free time. He works at the Fort Walton Yacht Club as a U.S. sailing instructor. He led Niceville to winning the Goodall County Regatta as captain of the Niceville sailing team, and he placed 3rd overall in the Fort Walton Summer Series. David is also a member of the Niceville High School academic team and president of the Niceville Chess Club. So that is how.
All right. So it's interesting, you think of the backgrounds that a lot of these students have from band, but also to artificial intelligence, custom orthotics, and alternative treatments on bacteria commonly found in the ear canals of canines. And I'm sure we all did those things in high school. So I feel like we can relate. Blows me away. But anyway, so here we go. I would like to first announce the alternate Sunshine State Scholar. If the winner is unable to fulfill the obligations as the district Sunshine Scholar, then the alternate will take their place. The Okaloosa County alternate Sunshine State Scholar is David Dye from Niceville High School. And this year's Okaloosa County Sunshine State Scholar is Mackenzie Merez from Fort Walton Beach High School. Let's give all of them another. a bit, and Miss Alice and Stedford, if you come up here, please. Picture. And principals, if you would come forward as well, please.
Stand by our guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I got it.
Any of our teachers?
Got the red, baby. Got the red going on.
One, two, three. One, two, three.
You know, that's the part of this meeting that you see our students in action. So congratulations again to all of our Sunshine State Scholar recipients. So school board members, at this time, we're going to move down to section 17, public hearing. We're about 5 minutes behind, but I apologize to if anybody's here that's speaking on that we're a little bit behind, but we're going to go ahead and start with 17.1, public hearing for adoption of new school board policies 01-26, school guardian program, presented by Steve Horton, Assistant Superintendent, MIS, and recommended by the superintendent for approval. Is there anybody here tonight to speak on this particular item? Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Dr. Kelly,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Ivanchek, and let's vote in favor. And that passes 3-0. We'll move down to 17.2, public hearing for adoption of the revised job description of ESE parent liaison, presented by Dr. Lee Hale, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and recommended by the superintendent for approval. Is there anybody here tonight to speak on this particular item? Okay, seeing none, I'll need a motion to adopt.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Ms. Ivanchek, a second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. Motion carries 3-0. 17.3 was deleted, so we'll move down to 17.4, public hearing for adoption of revised job description for resource teacher, presented by Dr. Lee Hale, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, and recommended by the superintendent for approval. Is there anyone in the audience that's here to speak on this particular item? Okay. Seeing none, we need a motion to adopt.
I'll make that motion.
Dr. Kelly?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Ivanchek. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. Motion carries 3-0. So you can see how it's going to work tonight. They're going to be making the motions and doing the seconds and all.
Full of load.
So let's move on up to section 4. And we have the visitor section. And at this time, we're going to ask Ms. Michelle Akers if she would come forward, please, to talk about proposed half-cent sales tax to fund capital needs for Okaloosa County Schools. Ms. Akers, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. My name is Michelle Ankers, and I have requested to speak to you tonight on an issue that you already know is important to schools, to teachers, to parents, to staff, and to students, but that is equally important to private businesses. I'm proud to speak for many of the businesses in Okaloosa County, particularly those who are members of the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce, represented here this evening by President and CEO Ted Corcoran and the Chairman of the Board, Vince Mayfield, the CEO of BitWizards. And I'm also proud to be here with the Destin Chamber of Commerce, represented in the back, waiting anxiously for kickoff time, President and CEO Shane Moody. These businesses for whom I speak have recognized that our economy relies in part on a strong public school system, a system that boasts not only high academic achievement, as ours does, but that also has respectable and functional physical space with working equipment and reasonably modern technology. Just as our businesses in the private sector require financial strength to survive and thrive, so do schools. in Okaloosa County, we can do better in our funding of public schools, and we should. We can do so by supporting enthusiastically a ballot question in 2020 that asked Okaloosa voters to support a half-cent sales tax to make sure our schools are safe and to make sure that our schools are strong. The idea of a half-cent sales tax to fund the capital school needs is certainly not a new one. Less than 24 months ago, I appeared before you and supported the same funding mechanism, though it became quickly apparent that the time was not right. But this is our time. We cannot wait. The revenue from a half-cent sales tax would bring in approximately $20 million a year in funding for capital needs, a good part of which is paid by tourists who visit our beautiful area. To anyone who asks whether this ballot initiative is too soon in time to the events that have previously maligned our school district, or whether this will be lost in the political noise of other races in this year, or whether this too closely follows other taxes or fees that have been considered, I ask, how can we possibly afford to wait? This is our time. We cannot wait. Even with the proceeds from a sales tax, we know that the needs are far greater than the funding that will be available. To narrow what those needs are and to recommend to you how they might be prioritized, we will rely heavily on your consultant, Jacobs Titan. We want to help spread the word on Jacob Titan's findings with parents, teachers, and the public, and bring back to you in the spring a recommendation for a project for every single school in Okaloosa County that could be funded by a half-cent sales tax. In addition to seeking input and support from businesses, churches, and the military, we want to target input and support from the best talent pool we have in this county, our teachers and school-based staff. Toward that end, we have recruited retired teacher Barbara Britt. Barbara, please wave so these teachers and staff know you, who will be our teacher liaison in this effort. Miss Britt, who's Coach Britt to me, based on being a fierce high school swim coach, brings her energy and commitment to this effort. And while bragging about people from Fort Walton Beach High School, I want to thank my fellow alum and school district employee extraordinaire, Steve Horton. Steve seems to me, from what I can tell, and I've got pretty good evidence, to be working just about around the clock, seeing the big picture, but also tending to the details, and he's been an extremely valuable resource in helping us bring this initiative forward. Tonight, I am not asking for any formal vote from you, but I am asking for your affirmation of the business community's effort to get this proposal passed with transparency and accountability for how the funds will be used. Tomorrow, a handful of business representatives will be gathering at Edwins Elementary School, where my mom taught more than 50 years ago, and I would have said it was old when I was a little girl. We invite you to come to the school cafeteria at 9:00 a.m. to hear in more detail about our plans to share the needs of our schools with the very people who will be voting on this sales tax. This is our time. We cannot wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Akers. And Ms. Akers, if you would come back up front, please. So before we go to school board member comments, I'm going to turn it over to the superintendent real quick, and I know you wanted to say a few words.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, board, as you know, this has been a topic that's been discussed. But I do want to say to Ms. Ankers, Mr. Corcoran, the Fort Walton Beach Chamber, the Destin Chamber, just want to thank you for coming together, representing the community, representing businesses to help our capital and our infrastructure needs. I do want to say that I think we know, and those of you who are here know, that we have some of the best students in the state of Florida, best teachers, staff, school administrators. And unfortunately, I can't sit here tonight and say that our school facilities match that greatness despite the great efforts of our maintenance staff and our facility staff. I think some of the facts remain that 61% of our buildings are 50 years of age or older. 3 out of every 4 schools is 45 years of age or older. So once again, when you think about our students, when you think about our teachers, staff, and school administrators, we want to be proud of our facilities as well, just as we are of them. And the fact that we have the ability to be in a county where community and businesses come together to support schools, that's something that we are extremely grateful for. So board members, with your support, I would like to direct staff to work with Mrs. Ankers in bringing together information that's related to our capital and infrastructure needs. And I'd also like to ask you to have Mr. McGinnis work with Mrs. Ankers and work with staff to bring forward a resolution. And thank you once again.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chambers. School board members, would you like to
I would like to,
comment?
yes, absolutely. Thank you, Michelle and Ted Cochran, and everyone who's been involved in bringing this to us. We just cannot express adequately how much it means to have such a huge upswelling of community effort to bring this forward. And we know that with all of you holding hands together, it cannot help but be successful. We just cannot express our thanks enough to you. A great example of the needs happened just today. Of course, you know, Michelle and Ted, that I've spent 40 years now living in these buildings, so I know how old they are, and attended school here. But just today I visited a school not too far from us, and the secretary, when I walked in, had an umbrella turned upside down hanging from one of the rafters to keep rain from falling onto her computer and her desk space. And that's just one of hundreds of examples across the school district that you could find. And again, we're patching and keeping them up to date as quickly as we can, but they happen so rapidly now with these aging buildings that it takes us almost daily to put a Band-Aid on them. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know you've heard me say before that our students, our teachers, our administrators, and our parents, our families deserve better, and we can do better for them. So thank you for bringing that to us.
And I'd like to say thank you as well. And just like Dr. Kelly, I grew up in this system. I was in those classrooms. Then I was a teacher for 38 years, just as soon as 3 years ago. My last year there, I had the umbrella incident in my own classroom. I've seen it, I've lived it, and I've been waiting for you guys people in our community to wake up and to see this, and I am so appreciative of what you're doing. And the students who are here, you should feel so grateful that you're in a district where the school district and the community really do unite to bring you the best situation. And that's what I see happening here, is that we're all going to work together for this. So yes, Mr. Superintendent, I agree with you that we need to move forward and have our staff work with these community members and whatever board members can do to help, because I don't see how anybody could deny that this is something that we need. So thank you so much, Michelle, and all of you for coming forward.
I'd like to be gracious and say you're welcome, but I'm really not going to accept the thanks until November 5th, 2020.
That's right.
And all of these people who are here, I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to say, when she talks about the community, if I may turn my back, she's talking about us. And we ask that you not only participate in ways that you may hear more about in the coming days, but that you go find 6 other people who you can drag with you to be a part of this.
Well, and my only comment's going to be that I would like the people of Okaloosa County to know that this is an investment in the future, and let's not dwell on the past, but let's look forward to the future. And the longer that we go with the funding that we're getting now currently from the state, it's really going to put a burden on our schools to where we're, like Dr. Kelly affectionately said, patching things up. We need to fix them, not patch them. So this would be an investment in the future of our school district, and we're really grateful that the community is behind this, the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Cochran and Mr. Moody, and everybody that's in here today in support of this. We truly appreciate your efforts. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, school board members, Mr. McGinnis, there was, the superintendent did ask us to vote on something here tonight, so what would be the procedure on that, please?
Yes, I mean, he's asked for action by the board to authorize him to have staff work with the community and to have me work with him as well to bring back appropriate resolutions and information to you on this matter. So that would be what would be before you.
Okay. So you heard the attorney. Is there a school board member that's willing to?
I'm happy to make the motion that we allow the superintendent to direct his staff and others to work with Ms. Ankers and Mr. Cochran and anyone else involved in this initiative to move forward.
And can we motion together? Because I don't want to be the second. I want to be on the first team. So I want to be with you. But yes, officially, I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you. So let's vote. All in favor? And that motion carries 3-0. Mr. Superintendent, Mr. McInnes, we've got our work cut out for us. Ms. Ankers, thank you very much. You got your marching orders. Okay, so let's move on down to item 5, and one of my favorite parts of the meeting is the administrative personnel appointments. And our first one is appointment of Assistant Principal 1, Okaloosa Technical College choice, recommended by the superintendent for approval. Mr. Chambers.
All right, Mr. Bryant, school board members, I bring before you Mr. John Williams. John Williams is a proud product of the Okaloosa County School System, having attended Kenwood, Pryor, and graduating from Fort Walton Beach High School. Education is the family business, as he is the son of 2 retired Okaloosa teachers, Chip and Kathy Williams, and his wife Amanda has also taught for over 10 years in our county. He began his career in our county as a classroom reading recovery assistant and lunchroom monitor. After completing his master's degree, he became a school counselor at Pryor, was a dean of students at Pryor, and then the assistant principal at Pryor. He served as principal of Shalimar Elementary School and Silver Sands School for 3 years, respectively. He more recently served as the assistant principal at the Awesome Team at Destin Elementary. Additionally, he has held several state positions for the Florida Association of School Administrators and serves as the vice president of our local organization for administrators, OCASA. He holds State of Florida certifications in guidance K-12, exceptional student education K-12, and educational leadership. He earned his bachelor's degree in psychology from UWF, a master's in curriculum and instruction from UWF, and a specialist in educational leadership and policy from Florida State University. He lives in Mary Esther with his wife of 14 years, Amanda, and their 2 children, Ben and Allie. Mr. Williams.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chambers. I need a motion to approve this appointment.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries 3-0. Congratulations.
I'd just like to first say someone is about to earn themselves a really great job at Destin Elementary School, and I've really enjoyed my time there. I love the entire school community there, and they're wonderful. However, I'm very appreciative of this new opportunity, and with your confidence and support, I know I'll get it done, especially also with Ms. Hayes and the team and the guidance that they'll provide me at OTC. I plan to be a knowledgeable advocate for our school district, for the state of Florida, and even nationally for CTE. I have a great passion for the programs at Okaloosa Technical College. Having grown up watching my hero teach career and technical education for 30 years to his students as they fought to earn a great life that they so well deserved. I'm now especially proud to be able to lead and support them in their journey. Many thanks to all of you and to everyone, and especially to my hero. Thanks, Dad.
A little shove. A little shove.
So we're going to move down to item 5.2, appointment of Assistant Principal 1, Laurel Hill School, recommended by the superintendent for approval. Mr. Chambers?
Mr. Bryant, I bring before you Miss Allison LeVictor. Allison LeVictor is a proud product of the Okaloosa County School District. She attended Northwood Elementary, Walker Elementary, Richburg Middle School, and Crestview High School. She graduated from Northwest Florida State College in the first class of students graduating with a degree in elementary education. After 9 years serving students and teachers as a professional educator, she received a master's degree in educational leadership from the University of West Florida. Mrs. LeVictor taught first and third grades at Northwood Elementary School for 7 years. During those years of teaching students to love literacy, she learned that she had a growing passion for professional development and leading teachers to be the best literacy instructors they can be. Mrs. LeVictor then followed her dream and became an ELA instructional coach for Okaloosa County. She has coached teachers of all grade levels at Laurel Hill School, Antioch Elementary, Riverside Elementary, Plough Elementary, and Southside Primary. Mrs. LeVictor married her husband Benjamin of 9 years in 2010. Benjamin is a 9th grade ELA teacher at Choctaw High School. Together, they have 2 children, Jameson and Harper. Jameson will be attending Laurel Hill with Mom as a kindergartner, and Harper is in VPK at Northwood Elementary. Mrs. LeVictor is thrilled and eager to embark on a new educational adventure as an assistant principal at Laurel Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Chambers. Okay, with that being said, I need a motion to approve this appointment.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
No
it.
hobos.
And with that, a motion and a second, let's vote. And congratulations to Ms. LeVictor.
Thank you.
I am humbled and honored to be appointed as Assistant Principal of Laurel Hill School. I want to begin by saying thank you to the school board members and Superintendent Chambers for giving me this incredible opportunity to serve students, teachers, staff members, and my community in this new capacity as an Assistant Principal. I'm going to cherish this position and act as a steward of the institution of education. I too want to extend gratitude to my family, specifically my husband Ben, as I could not have done this without his willingness to take over the kids, be Mr. Mom for a few days while I needed to work late, study, prepare for the next day. Another important thank you is to the coaching cadre of the instructional coaches. I've learned so much from working with that group of ladies, and I know that my ability to be an instructional leader at Laurel Hill will benefit from the time that I spent working collaboratively with them. Ultimately, I look forward to going back to Laurel Hill and working alongside Ms. Martello, the teachers, and the staff members to continue to make a difference in the students and the community. Thank you again for this opportunity.
And I know we have your family as well as we have many from Laurel Hill who are here, so those of you who can come forward.
Laurel Hill here tonight.
You hired her. I hired her in this district. Now she's taking my job. Can you get there? Yeah, come
So sweet, sweet.
Completely butter.
Ready? 1, 2. No. 1, 2, 3.
What's that?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
about that?
Dr. Kelly would like to make an announcement real quick.
I was just going to say, while they're going back to their seats, that not only are a lot of their faculty here and family here, and Miss Craig coming back, but you don't often see not only the previous person here to support the new person, but they even brought their mascot. So, Mr. McVeigh, I'm calling you out. There's the hobo, the lead
There's the
hobo,
hobo.
and Mrs. Martello, of course.
All right, with that being said, we're going to I'm sorry, Mr. Chambers, go ahead.
So we have one more. So we have Miss Judy Peacock that you remember that we have already approved, but we
Yes.
promised that we would bring back to you in January.
Okay. So that's what you were trying to get my attention on. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Bright, I bring before you Mrs. Judy Peacock. Judy Peacock has been in the Okaloosa County School District for the past 2.5 years as the Assistive Technology Specialist, serving all the schools in the district. Prior to joining Okaloosa County, she served as the Region 1 Technology Coordinator for the Technology and Learning Connections team, part of the PSRTI project in Florida. Judy worked closely with district administration to identify and support needs ranging from technical assistance in the areas of assistive technology, accessible education materials, multi-tiered system of support for all students, and universal design for learning to provide professional development and implementation support in these areas. She has presented on these topics at conferences across the country. Judy received her bachelor's degree in elementary education, her master's degree in instructional technology and design, and her specialist degree in educational leadership from the University of West Florida. She is currently pursuing a doctorate in curriculum and instruction from the University of West Florida. Judy began her career teaching 5th grade in Escambia County. While earning her gifted endorsement, she taught gifted and talented students in a resource model for K through 5. She then transitioned to the position of instructional technology specialist for the Florida Diagnostic and Learning Resources System that we refer to as FIDLERS for 7 years, where she served Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa County school districts. Judy is grateful for the opportunity to move into this new position and is looking forward to working closely with ESC and district staff in a continued effort to support the needs of all students.
And as you know, we have already voted on this position, so Mr. Chambers.
Good evening. I'm truly honored to be recommended for this position. I want to thank Mr. Chambers for your vote of confidence in me and for the board for your approval last month. I'm grateful for the vision that Heather Willis-Oxy and Amy Bowles had in me and to use my skills and expertise in this position. I'm looking forward to being an integral part of the Exceptional Student Education Department here in Okaloosa County School District and seeing our great district become even better, especially in regards to our students with disabilities. And thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to recess for 2 minutes, and that way, if you would like to scoot out, we could do the rest of the meeting, but we're going to recess for 2 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Day. That was the Mr. Day from Crestview High School. Once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. All right, so let's move down to item 6, public comment. Miss Mary, do we have any blue cards tonight? Okay, so we'll zip on down to 7. That was workshop only. We're now to item 8, consent agenda, and I need an approval to approve the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda.
I second it.
Okay, let's vote. And that carries 3-0. So let's move on down to Superintendent Human Resource recommendations. And 9.1, the first 2 are just informational only, so we'll just skip on down to number 9.3, out of field for the 2019-2020 school year, presented by Karen Peak, Program Director of Professional Services, and we need a motion to approve.
I'll move it.
Okay.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. And that carries 3-0. 9.4, personnel recommendations presented by Dr. Lee Hale. Excuse me. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and I need a motion to approve that.
I'll move.
I second it.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. Passes 3-0. 9.5, employment separations presented by Dr. Lee Hale. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Okay. And Mary, you got all that? Okay. So let's vote. And that carries 3-0. 9.6, employee transfers. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
Okay. Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. And that motion carries 3-0. 9.7, employee suspension. Need a motion to approve.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. And that carries 3-0. 9.8, employee suspension. Need a motion to approve.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. And that carries 3-0. 9.9 was deleted. 9.10, leave without pay. I need a motion to approve.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
And any discussion? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. And that motion carries 3-0. 9.11, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination. And I need a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. A motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. And that carries 3-0. So discussion agenda, we had nothing moved over. 11, construction program owners representative business. And 11.1 is program status report. Mr. Destin isn't here, but I have asked Dr. Smith if he would come because I believe y'all did have a meeting today.
Yes, we did. It was brief, but the plan is, just to give you some background information, the item you're voting on tonight, which is the modification of the title of that task order, that GMP, the guaranteed maximum price, we plan to bring to you at the next board meeting. There's 3 others out there. There's the Baker Kitchen, the Pryor Kitchen, and the Longwood Walls. We hope to get those to you one board meeting at a time. All 4 of those will hopefully be summer projects, so we will be trying to knock them down and get those prices to you as quick as they're available.
Okay. All right.
Any questions?
Just hold still. I will have just one kind of piggybacking off the half-cent sales tax people here that just left. Okay, so 11.2 is scope modification of program number 6, task order number 1, pre-GMP roofing at Niceville High School, 500 building and gymnasium, presented by Dr. Smith. So I need a motion to approve that.
I'll move.
Okay.
I'll second.
And any discussion? And I would like to ask, just kind of, if you would, this particular project here, Dr. Kelly mentioned about, putting Band-Aids on. I would think to explain to the general public about this particular program, this is actually going to fix this problem.
That will fix the problem.
Right.
The 500 building will be a tear-off, put back, and repair whatever deck's damaged.
Right.
And we will be issued a warranty on that. It's a complete fix.
Right.
The gym roof, there's some spots that need to be replaced, and those will be replaced, and then we'll receive there'll be a coating placed on it, which will guarantee us another 10-year warranty. When we go in to do one of these, we want to put something up there that's going to give us some time.
Right.
It's just expensive.
Right. Okay, thank you, Dr. Smith.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's vote on that. All in approval? Okay, the motion carries 3-0. And let's see, item 12, nothing there. Item 13, Mr. Attorney.
No report tonight.
Okay. Mr. Superintendent, item 14.2, that would be you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be brief, but I do want to say this past weekend, many of our students are teachers. They went down to the Tampa area for band and chorus. There was a lot of state awards and recognitions in those 2 areas. I do want to say 2 that I know of, Mr. Folsom and Miss Bruce. Mr. Folsom from Fort Walton Beach High School. Miss Bruce, Dr. Kelly will probably say as well, so I apologize. But 5 straight years of superior in band, and that's not something that is easy at all. think Mr. Folsom was the only high school band director that was awarded this, and Ms. Bruce also received this, so that's absolutely fantastic. Mr. Dye, as we recognized at one of the last meetings, he also received an award as well, going down there, which is fantastic. And then Mr. Wooten also, he was selected, and Dr. Kelly, you probably can help me more with the wording, but I'll say it this way. He did some conducting down there, which is a huge honor, and you can expound on that, I'm sure. And then lastly, I would like to say, but not least, our students who went down there did an absolutely amazing job. And we have, in our county, I would say arguably, if not the best chorus band students in the state of Florida. And when they go down there, we go down strong in Okaloosa County. So I'm just extremely proud of our students and extremely proud of our band and chorus directors as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Vancheck, we're going to go down to school board member business, and I'll start with you tonight, ma'am.
Okay, well, it's not just by chance that Dr. Kelly and I are both in red tonight. Today is Red for Education Day, and you got some red on, yes, I see some others, but I think the public knows, but I want to remind you that tomorrow our legislative session begins. 60 days, our legislature will be there, and the number one priority is about education funding in our state. We had a lot of employees travel to Tallahassee today for a rally to bring to the forefront about public education funding. So we hope the public will pay attention to what's happening in Tallahassee. I know sometimes it can be tedious to watch those reports, but it's so very important that we see how the funding is going to be, and I certainly hope that the legislature follows through with what the governor has said, which this is the year of the teacher, and shows us the money that goes along with that title, because that's what we really need. One more thing I'd like to mention that I did mention the other day, but I want to state again, is that the Okaloosa Public Schools Foundation is in need of mentors. It's a very small amount of time that you have to dedicate, an hour a week. The program is building, our Take Stock in Children program, and if you would like to be a mentor, anyone out in the public, if you could call the Community Affairs Office and talk with them, they'll be glad to walk you through the program. We have some students right now waiting for some mentors to help them. It's very rewarding. I know that several of us have been mentors, and it's a good thing. So if you would like to get some real positive feedback, then become a mentor. Thank you.
Good. All right. Well, I just will tag on to what you said about band, in that both Randy Folsom and Mr. Wooten, I believe, touched my child as far as instructing with band. Certainly Randy Folsom was a great instrumentation in helping my daughter achieve first chair many times in middle school and high school, and she still plays her oboe today. So shout out to Mr. Folsom and the other band instructors and chorus as well. I would just like to remind us that we have our Teacher of the Year banquet coming up, and on January the 24th is the 100th day of school. And yeah, you know I'm keeping up with the numbers. And also, you mentioned the band and chorus, but I believe January the 25th is an all-county band concert up in Crestview, so that would be a good thing for us all to go to. We still have VPK registration open, and as I said the other day, we are about 40 days out until spring break, and since you brought up 89 days until the end of school year, so we have to make every day count now. Awesome. That's about all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kelly. In my few comments tonight, I would like to congratulate a couple of students from Crestview High School. Cade Kutsaratis, who's a senior. He was announced today as the all sports recipient in the male category. So congratulations to Cade Kutsaratis. He also has a full ride scholarship to play football at Georgia Tech. So we're really excited for Cade. He is an awesome young man, and I've known him since he's just a little bitty baby. So really proud of Cade and what he's accomplished. And also, Miss Georgia Small was recognized as the Big School Volleyball Player of the Year for females. And again, another extraordinary student athlete that we have. She will be playing volleyball for the University of West Florida come the fall. So really excited about those two students from Crestview.
And also notice that, forgive me for interrupting.
ma'am, go ahead.
They are the children of educators.
Yes, ma'am.
Longtime educators in this district, and
Yes.
at least one of them is a grandchild of parents who taught in this school system.
Yes, and you are very correct there.
And Mr. Bryan, I know he might not say it, but Mr. Superintendent, why don't you go ahead and announce about your daughter while we're talking about outstanding students?
If you say so.
If you insist.
So we'll say that, normally I don't speak about my children.
I
but,
know, that's why we're going to give you this
My
opportunity.
daughter was on the first team, all-area team for volleyball, and she's going to be going to play volleyball at Gulf Coast College, so we're very excited for that.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ms.
Congratulations
Belichick.
to you and your family.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And board members, just one final item I would like to bring. On the next school board meeting agenda, there will be an item on expenses, travel expenses, that will be submitted by myself. And in the spirit of transparency and being a good steward of taxpayer dollars, I am going to ask for reimbursement for a trip that I took with Mr. Chambers on behalf of the school board for the Florida School Board Association and Superintendent meeting in Tampa. I will, like I said, humbly ask, for approval of that. I will say that my expenses saved the school district over $300+ with the hotel that I stayed at. Was a Holiday Inn Express, so you're always wiser when you stay at a Holiday Inn Express. But I will let you know that particular item will be on the next agenda. So just so you, in the spirit of transparency.
Thank you.
So let's move down to 16.1 and public comment. And at this time, if there's anybody that would like to address the school board, you may step forward. Okay. Seeing none, let's move on down to item 18, and that's adjournment. We are adjourned.
Good job.